Rudy Mettia here with Yoga Warrior Tips. I'm proud to have Neville here with me. She's a fabulous new teacher, young and inexperienced, but coming along, aren't you? She's going to, although she is good, she's going to show you child's pose. You want to get down there? Child's pose. You know, I say I'm going to show you child's pose. What is just a simple pose, but it's such a profound pose, everybody. This pose with her knees wide and her big toes touching, and I'll spin her around so you can see that. That's the base of it. And with her knees wide, and she'll do a version with her knees together, because if you got like hip stuff and it's too much for your knees, ankles or shin bones or hips, you can do it with the knees together. And if it's still, and she's gonna do it that way. And if it's still too much, you can always do it sit on your butt. It's called child's pose because like a child, there's innocence at its birth. There's no agenda here. This is where you forget your crap. You get into this position, you let your day go. You know it's waiting like wolves at the door when you walk out of your practice, be it out of your bedroom, out of your living room, you know, wherever you practice, in the garage, hidden in your RV, whatever it is. So this is the moment where you set your intention, one of the moments, and where you just find your breath. And quite honestly, sometimes I'm just like, thank God I made it. I am in my child's pose. I am about to do something profound for myself and my family, and I'm gonna give myself time. And really, that's all I can tell you about child's pose. That, and it's a beautiful place to rest. You just got hammered for an hour in your practice. You need a break, but the DVD keeps telling you to do something else. Come right back here. Early and as often. If you're really good, you'll do this 5 or 6 times on your own. If you're egotistical, you may never do this pose on your own. So come on up onto your knees for a second. Just sit up there for a minute. And we're gonna take Virasana. We're gonna take the modified version. So she's gonna bring the feet together. Sit up for a second, step away. So the feet together, heels together, and she's just gonna sit her bottom on her heels. And that's a beauty. We've done this in the practice a few times, so I just wanted you to see the feet structure. And I like to meditate in this position for 10 minutes at a time. If I stay much longer, you know, it's a tough pose for the knees for a long time, like an hour. But for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it feels really good, deep knee flexion. She's gonna go a bit deeper. She's gonna lift up, and she's gonna separate her feet wider than hips distance. And she's gonna softly set her bottom down between the ankles. Now, why is it deeper? It's deeper because now, when, like me, I'll do it this way. I'm sitting on my feet support some of my weight. If I were to sit between my feet, that's too much for my knees. For her young, healthy knees, it's good. Reach under, pull the skin out from under your knees. That gets you deeper into the pose. And when you sit down, your feet kind of curl around your bottom and it's like support you. And that's a deep knee stretch, all the ligaments and tendons, and the quadricep stretch, ankle flexion, knee flexion, quadricep extension. It's a pretty good pose. Or I guess that's quadricep flexion, because it's flexion, it's not extending. Can you lay back? She's so comfortable and young. She can drop on her elbows, watch. Boom. And then can you go all the way back? What a fantastic pose. Now, the only contradiction in this pose is she's not doing it either, is you don't want to overarch. It's almost like you're still looking for that tailbone down. And then shoulder. She's in Savasana, other than being in a deep knee bend. So if this pose is not as comfortable as Savasana with a deep thigh stretch, then come back up and I'll help her. Then come back up to, and then come back up to previous pose, right? So if it's not good, you'll come up to previous pose. And then if it's not good here, what do you do?
Just come up onto your knees.
And stand on your feet, sit on your feet. Bring your feet together and sit there. Patty cake, patty cake, patty cake, baker's man. That's child's pose and Virasana. And I appreciate it. Namaste, everybody.